All right, great. So where we left off, if you couldn't hear, is I'm playing for purple.
And I'm playing for green, and we're playing two-player mode, which is a slightly different rule set. It's not a slightly different rule set, rather it's a slightly different win condition from three-player mode. So right now, Heather and I are trying to build the largest contiguous connected shape in our color on the board. So Heather over here has her little corner that she's already started carving out in purple, and I've just been able to place my first green blended area over here by placing this yellow on top of the blue. So we're off to a strong start. That means that orange is going to be a neutral color throughout the game. So if you ever see us play orange or play the same color on top of itself, that's going to be more of a defensive play for us to try to block the other player. So
Great.
Go for it.
Awesome. So I picked yellow, which really doesn't help me.
Helps me.
But I do have a question.
Yes.
And I'm pretty sure I'm right, but maybe people at home don't know. I can place this anywhere on the board.
Literally anywhere.
So I could just go like right here if I wanted to.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great.
I'm okay with that.
Keep it right in the middle.
Keeping it right in the middle. All right. And I'm just going to go ahead and connect that right here so that I can continue to try to build out my green across that little space.
All right, let's see. Come on, blue.
Strategy.
Okay, I don't hate it.
Okay. Yes! All right. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and play it here and connect these two. So now I'm in the lead with 8 points, and Heather over here has 4. So yeah, the reason there is a difference in win condition between 2-player and 3-player is because the 2-player mode is a much more of a head-to-head feeling, right? So it creates a deeper angle on the strategy. You're thinking both offensively and defensively. You have more time to plan because there's only one other player between you and your next turn, as opposed to the 3-player mode. There's 2 people in the way. So trying to build a fortress or something like that, in that one, that is the tiebreaker condition. But trying to do that as the primary win condition is a huge challenge, simply because there's a lot less opportunity to really plan around those moves.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
That makes sense. So I got a blue, which is exactly what I wanted. So I'm just going to take the guaranteed connection there and go for it with 7 points.
Okay, so I've got another blue as well, which is really great. It's not going to be connected, but my goal is going to be to connect these two. So even though they're touching by the point, that doesn't count as a contiguous connected shape. It's going to have to be touching edge to edge for it to count as a part of the shape. But once I can pull this one together here, that's going to be a much, much larger shape for me.
And you've got plenty of time. There are plenty of tiles in here.
Yeah.
And there are some small tiles that are just one.
There's one each of the single tile in the bag. And I could feel around for that and really hope for it.
But I could do what Carol's been hinting at the entire time, which is this. So now that helped me, get rid of the bleeding of all this green into my area.
Yeah,
here.
And because she's purple, she doesn't need yellow to create her color. That's the ideal strategy. When you draw the color that you don't want, if you can play it as a defensive play, that's great. So kudos to Heather, but bummer for me. So I'm gonna, okay, I took a risk to try to grab one of these single pieces, but it turned out to be just a pink one. So I'm gonna just place it. It's gonna be a challenge to keep it in its spot. But
okay.
Boy.
Right. You know what else? I'm realizing here too, like you have to try to remember, like, oh, did the big Pac-Man piece come out for that color?
Yeah, exactly.
Or the triangle? And I was trying to remember which triangle was out, and it was the yellow one. So
that's another opportunity for strategy. For those crunchy strategy players, you can keep track of the distribution of pieces in the bag, keep an eye on what's out, and know then, what shape it is that you're going to grab definitively. That is a part of the strategy for sure, is being aware of the state of the board and understanding, what is actually going to be available for you in the bag.
I took a little risk there, but this was already risky for me, so I thought, what the heck? Let's try it. Let's see what happens.
All right, I think I'm going to try for this single piece situation again and really hope. This is kind of weird. It's kind of like poor what's it? Poor sportsmanship to just be digging around in the bag like this.
Is there a timer? Like people say, like, I'll start my timer now. You have 30 more seconds.
Just stop. Okay. Okay. So I gave up because I felt rude. I'm policing myself here a little bit. But I am going to just go ahead and play this here. So I don't need the single piece. I need a 2 or a 3 or maybe even another one of these sort of like half moon shapes to be able to connect that one.
Okay. I was trying to get a big piece just to get some more territory here, and I was hoping it was my color, which luckily it was. So I'm going to kind of try to block it off here next to this yellow, hoping that Carol doesn't want to go into that pink area there.
And you're not going to be able to pick it up after I tell you this, but I will say another interesting defensive strategy here would have been for you to lay that right there and block me entirely. So the only way that I could have connected that was a yellow piece. I mean, it's not a bad move because this allows you to potentially build out here, but this would have given you more blended triangles on the board as a tiebreaker option.
We have a question.
Yeah, we've got a question.
Does my turn end in placing a piece?
Yes.
Or when I say so? If I let go of a piece, but I see another better place to put it, am I able to change the position?
I mean, I would say your turn ends after you place the piece. That can be sort of a house rule, but within the original context, like within the original design, it's just once you've placed it, it's done. A lot of times, though, you can kind of have that conversation with the folks that you're playing with if it's your first time playing, or if you're, farther into
right.
Farther
so in
into
this case, I'm just going to stick with it here. Yeah. But technically, if you had somebody at a house rule, you could maybe allow that.
Yeah,
great.
But it's not explicitly defined. But yeah, it is such that once you place the piece, your turn should be over.
I like also knowing that there's this strategy you might learn after you played this a couple times.
Bam! So now I've got this huge island over here that I just have to go for.
All right.
Our lighting grip, Rachel, is celebrating for me.
I'm so proud of you right now.
Yay!
Our key grip. Thank you. I'm a game designer, not a film student.
All right. I got a yellow, which is not helping me, so we shall see.
Hopefully, I can maybe even bridge that gap over here.
The more yellow that comes out.
Well, you know what? I'm just going to go for it. So this, it blocks her anyway to have the yellow there, but now I can maybe try to, bridge this over here. I also want to comment, you're actually seeing us play right now with the light of the board off. So this game can actually be played both with the light on and with the light off. It just kind of depends on your setting. So it's a really flexible game for different kinds of environments. So in this case, because of the lighting in the board game cafe, we didn't actually even need to turn it on, and it looks really bright when it's on camera. So fortunately, we're able to play with the light off even.
Yeah, and obviously if this wasn't on camera, we could play with it on, but we want you to be able to see every little detail of these colors.
But I did just want to make that note that, some people have asked us in the past, is the light necessary? It definitely helps. It, it makes the aesthetic very, like you're drawn to it, sort of like a fly or something, But in this case, it's a really great example of how beautiful the game looks even without that backlight.
Yeah, so I just keep pulling yellow, so I'm just going to do the neutral orange and just
try to block me in.
Yes.
All right, so this is another pink. So I'm going to go ahead and block Heather right here by playing pink on top of pink. So that means, because we can't go over 2 layers, that means that Heather can't use that space to blend into purple.
So I
she's
have to go that
stretch
way.
Out from here.
Yep. What do we got in here? I felt like I peeled so many of the things that looked like this that were green or that were yellow, so I had a pretty good feeling that was either going to be blue or magenta, and that's saving me right now. It is saving me right now.
Yeah, that was a great move. All right. However, I have just blocked me off completely. You're going to have to build out from here now.
Oh, I am definitely losing this game.
I don't know. I mean, you still have the chance.
All right.
But it's going to take quite a bit of catch up. I mean, you just blended 4 right there.
I got lucky that I felt a triangle, and I knew that was the only triangle left.
Yes.
So.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that helped.
Right. So I'm just gonna keep being mean over here because I'm pulling pink. So I'm blocking you.
You have to. I get
have
it.
to grow this way. You could still stretch out here and here, so you could still catch up.
Let's see what I got. Oh my God, more yellow. No.
Another
Okay,
question.
another question.
How accessible are the electronics? If the light goes out and the battery dies, how easy would it be for us to charge them?
That's a really great question. That's a question for breaking games directly because they're responsible for the manufacturing. My guess is that you can still, if the battery dies for whatever reason, you can still run it with a USB port attached. I don't have the details, however, about being able to replace the lithium-ion battery inside. But being able to still keep it plugged in is not the worst case in that rare circumstance. However, the oldest version of this prototype is a couple of years old, and the battery is still going perfectly strong. So,
And I can attest. I can say that the USB charge holds very, very long.
Yeah.
I received this version with a USB charge in, I want to say, late April, and I've only had to charge it one time.
Yeah.
In between then and now. And not that I play it every day, but it's lasted a pretty long time.
Yeah.
All right, I just keep pulling yellow. This is not good. I have no choice but to give you things to help you.
Ooh. I mean, I'm not going to complain.
Yeah.
But... All right.
At least the yellow has to be almost gone in here.
That's how I'm feeling about the pink. I keep drawing pink and you keep drawing yellow. We're just getting in our way.
Yeah.
In each other's way, rather.
Well, that's not great, but you know what? I'm just going to do it here.
I mean, you still have that chance
I have a
to
chance.
connect it.
I've got a small chance, but I've got a chance.
Okay, so I can build out here, which is great, because I still want to connect these two over here.
But in case you can't, going for the larger thing makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay, I've got it. Trying to remember. Of course, the way that my day is going, all yellow all the time.
Ooh,
Trying to make it as hard for you as possible.
I was getting real excited there for a hot second. All right, let's see here. Oh, that is so, because all of those are empty singles, there's only going to be one single yellow that I can place in one of those two spots. I can't play this here. I can play it here though. Oops. It starts to get a little bit crowded, but there we go. So,
All right.
Still.
Can I switch to orange? I'm kidding.
I wouldn't feel too bad about still needing to catch up to me, considering I've played this game hundreds of times.
I'm just kidding. I was just like, watch it be yellow again. No, it's not. But, okay. I guess I will go in here.
But the nice thing about drawing from the bag randomly is it does mean that even new players can catch up to seasoned players because there's still enough randomness that there's that opportunity for the chance of pulling the perfect piece right when you need it. Yes.
I feel like we're getting close to the end here.
We are getting close to the
Okay.
end.
I'm feeling like there's not a lot of options left for certain areas of this board. All right, come on.
This is still your largest shape over here.
Yeah.
So you're still
I'm
at
happy with that for now.
7.
If nothing else. I'm really taking
But
my
I've
time
really-
feeling around here.
I've really overtaken this corner here. It might be tough for you to catch up at this point.
Yeah. I think.
Unless I pull only pink and you pull only blue.
Well, I've only picked pink, but I'll keep trying here.
Keep trying.
Oh, that was dumb. I messed up. I should have put it there. Just in case I actually would connect it.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to put mine there.
Yeah, it was just like, I need to block you from going in there, and that's why I did that. All
Do we
right.
have another question?
More yellow.
In tabletop simulator, are there any plans of doing an official version?
For the digital, the design team is really hoping to explore the digital aspect of this, because the any digital ports of this is going to be not representational of the actual gameplay, because like I said, feeling in the bag and the physicality of the game is so core to the experience that any digital version that you're going to find is just not going to live up to the true experience. It's not going to give you the opportunity for the strategy that you need in being able to interact with the physicality of it. So, while it's exciting that folks are making fan versions of the game, I would caution you that a digital version is going to really leave a lot of the experience behind. Like I said, though, the design team is super excited to explore how we can create this experience and create that level of strategy without that tactile feeling, but it's not going to be a one-to-one experience. So
The bag is yellow. At least I blocked you with the yellow there last time. I felt a little bit better about that. I need a blue. Jeez. I just cannot get a blue, can I?
You might be able to hear our orders coming in the background, and I'm very excited.
This is a cafe, too. We have food.
Yeah, it's a
We
restaurant.
were muted actually. So
What's that?
They don't know where we are because we were
Oh
muted.
yeah, so we were muted while we mentioned this, but we are here in St. Louis, Missouri at Pieces Board Game Bar and Cafe. This is my hometown, and this is my favorite board game bar, and we're so grateful that they're hosting us today. We have delicious food and drinks and a ton of great games. They did not even pay us to say that. I just love it here. So there's so many yellows.
There are so many
all right.
yellows.
I think you're.
There's got to be a blue left in here. There has to be a blue left. Please blue.
There is an unspoken rule in two-player that if it's really clear that there's no way that you can catch up,
You just can call it.
You can call it, but you can forfeit. But we can play it through until there's no more legal plays.
Sure, we'll play it through. At this point, we got to be pretty close, even though I know I'm losing. It just lets people watch a little more of what to do when it's crowded like this, I think.
Are there exactly enough pieces to fill the board?
There are not. So that
Okay.
that is by design. We want to make sure that it's a different experience every time.
Yeah.
So there's always going to be some holes at the end, and often there's spots where pieces actually will not fit. All right. So many yellows. I'm just going to have to move this over here.
Yeah, and it makes sense in that with a territory control like this, leaving the blanks is a really good defense.
That is, it's a really smart play.
All right.
Since
These blues are finally coming out at the end, so I'm getting a little bit
you're
better.
getting closer.
It's
Yeah.
getting a little better.
All right. Yeah, we're really down to the last bits here. There's no place that I can play a two-piece pink because the only blues that I have are single pieces. There's no place on the first layer that I can play, so I'm just going to have to create orange right here.
All right, and this might end up being the last move unless I grab the one piece, which I can feel in here. Well, actually, there's two one pieces, and I know one is yellow.
Yep. And one is blue. So either way, I'm getting an extra point.
I got blue! Yay!
Right.
All right.
And now I'll just go ahead and.
It doesn't matter. All right.
All right.
At least it doesn't look as bad.
All right. Do we want to do the ceremonial?
Yeah. Let's do the scoring. So let's do purple first.
Okay. So
The
because
continuous.
so we're looking at the single largest shape on the board. So that would be this shape over here. We can see by sight. We know that shape is going to have more blended triangles than either of these two other blended areas. So purple is going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 scored triangles.
Okay.
Green, this is obviously the largest contiguous shape for green. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23.
Nice.
More than twice the size. Again, I've played hundreds of times. And also this is, the the strategy is, it really can shift from game to game based on that random draw. But yeah, thank you all so much for watching us play two-player mode. Let us know if you have any questions. We're super excited and grateful that you're checking out the stream today. And don't forget to, if you haven't yet, don't forget to back us on Kickstarter. We are live. You can get the Kickstarter exclusive triangle-shaped board, which has the really beautiful, high-quality... the triangle-shaped box. Thank you.
All the boards are
Thank
triangle
you. All the
shaped.
boards are triangle-shaped.
So many triangles.
The triangle-shaped box. And then there's also the opportunity to get the exclusive Kickstarter obsidian plastic frame. So right now you're seeing the standard white frame, which is also what's going to be going to retail. But then there's the Kickstarter exclusive opportunity to get the obsidian plastic frame as well. So
One thing I want to mention too, if I don't think I heard you say, is also a Kickstarter exclusive will be cards that are a pack of puzzles that you can play either solo or as a group.
That's right.
And you try to make that puzzle, and there's a range of difficulties of those.
Yeah, that's right.
So they'll be in there as well. Really quickly, let's just go over where people can find you again and where they can find Kroma.
Oh yeah, so you can find Kroma at Play Kroma. on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. And you can check out the Kickstarter campaign at chromagame.com. It's just going to forward you right to the campaign. You can find me on Twitter at Carol Mertz. It's CarolMertz.
Thank you so much. This was really great.
Thank you.
Thank you
for coming all the way out
Yes.
to St. Louis.
My first time in St. Louis. This is great, and Pieces has been really, really great and accommodating. So
And
this
many
has been
thanks
fun.
to our key grip, Rachel.
Yes. Thank you, everyone.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye. Thanks. Good game.
Good game. Good game.